Regarding the announcement yesterday, just briefly address some, the announcement that came out of the AD's office, and I suspect you'll probably have questions, so we'll take a few of those afterwards. And just basically say this, okay, for 25 years, tried to operate with a singular focus of doing what I feel is best for the program, and that's mainly the players and everybody that works in this building. That's my first obligation. And basically, my philosophy, my practice, I think has been pretty consistent. Typically, we go through the season and then run an evaluation of the program, top to bottom, afterwards. And, yesterday's announcement, certainly a departure from that practice, but that's really what we've tried to do for the past 24 years. Final analysis, let's say this, I'm really proud of our players, proud of our coaches. I think they've done a good job over the long time, and what we do now is move forward, and our focus is on getting ready for this ball game, and then, bigger picture, all 4 games. But, decisions are made on Saturdays are based, player-wise, based on us watching the guys during the out-of-season, in-season. A lot of hours of evaluation time we spend with them just in classrooms, all those types of things. And, just really, really proud of our players. I think they've done a great job. Our staff's done a great job. And just, we've had challenges that sometimes you can't foresee, and this season's one of those. But you play through it, you work through it, and that's our plan moving forward. Again, just very, very proud of the program, the success that we've had. And this is just one of those things we'll have to work through as well. So, as you know, I did request to be the public voice this week. I thought it was best to protect our players a little bit, pull them out of the interview list. You'll get a chance to talk to them Saturday, certainly, and beyond that. But, I think in light of what's going on right now, I think it's best for us just to stay tight and keep our focus on the game at hand, because that is the most important thing, and that's what we owe to our 120-plus players. So that's really where our focus has been. And, our plan is to move forward here and do our best to finish out this portion of the season strong. It's an 8-week season, 4-week season. And we have an opportunity to do some really good things right now, and I think we're all excited about that. Historically, I think this program's had 10-win seasons in 100 and whatever years, 1889. We got an opportunity for that and potentially beyond that too, which would be historic. So, but it's like any game. Our focus is on doing what we can do this week. That's the only one that counts. What we can do this week to be successful, and that's where our focus is. So, again, I just ask you to appreciate that, and there'll be plenty of other time for discussion as well. After the season, if we want to go back and go through all the detail and minutia, all that stuff. But I'll throw it out for questions.
Scott Docterman with The Athletic. Kirk, just kind of want to know a little bit more about the timeline of events. When were you notified by Beth Goetz regarding either this decision? What were the consultations like? And then the announcement, when you were made aware of it?
I had access to the announcement that you read, we all read, over the weekend. So, yeah, that was the timeline.
Chad Leistikow, Des Moines Register. In light of things that have transpired, are you definitively returning yourself next season, or is that still up in the air?
My plans are like they always are, to worry about this game and bigger scale, bigger picture for these 4 games. And that's where my focus has been this entire season. Obviously, it's more than 4 games a week ago or 2 weeks ago. That's what I think about. And that's each and every year. It's been pretty consistent, just like the other things I referenced.
David Eichholt, 24/7 Sports. Kirk, I mean, again, given the timing and this stepping away from your typical practice, Beth still on an interim scale. I mean, is this going to impact your relationship going forward with Beth, and just how do you kind of balance out what the decision that's made, but also moving forward?
Yeah, the only forward I'm thinking about right now is now till Saturday, and that it's been that way each and every week of my career, quite frankly, and that's how you operate when you're in season. There's a chain of command in everything we do. Coach John Hayden Fry would frequently remind us, some of the younger guys, I think he was referring to myself, and Dan McCarney, could have used some time in the military to learn the chain of command, and he'd throw the insubordination term around, but hopefully I've never was guilty of that with him or anybody else. So, there's a chain of command to everything, and I respect that, and, we move forward.
Tom Kakert, Hawkeye Report. Kirk, listening to your statement, it sounded like is your frustration with the timing that it happened before the end of the season, or with the decision itself, or both?
No, I can just say that, my policy has typically been to evaluate everything, players, coaches, all that, postseason, because in season we've got a lot on our plates. And, that's just kind of been the nature of it. And it's been that way probably since I got started full-time in '81. There's just not enough time in the day. So that's where our focus is. Everything you do is precious in terms of time relations. And, so to me, it's a better time. It's a less emotional time. It's, I can give you a lot of reasons why I've done it that way. But, it really doesn't matter. It's really not significant right now because we are dealing with something that we have to deal with, and we will. And that's one of the points I always make to our team in camp, at the end of camp. There are a lot of factors, usually boil it down to about 3 or 4 of them, but one that never changes is how do you handle the bumps that you don't anticipate, the things that maybe you can't see coming, certainly don't see coming in August, early September. So it's part of any season, just like injuries. I mean, those are parts of seasons, and then how you respond to those things, that's how you get defined. And so, this is just, it's one more of those things that you have to try to compartmentalize and put it in the right position. And then the most important question is, what do we have to do to work forward and, be successful to be successful?
John Steppe, Cedar Rapids Gazette. If you stay past 2023, what will be the timeline?
I get hit by a truck tomorrow. That's a reality. I figured that out a long time ago, too.
So assuming that you're still here 2024, what would be the timeline for finding Brian's replacement, and how much latitude would the next offensive coordinator have to make changes? Okay,
so let's kind of go back here. Really what I'm really worried about right now are the next 4 weeks, and I think anything beyond that's getting way ahead. That would be an injustice to our football team to be thinking about any of those things that you mentioned. And that's my first loyalty is to the football team. So, things are in your control, which I think this is. It's just you do what you can do that's going to give us our best chance to be successful, knowing that all 4 of these games are going to be really challenging. It's not going to change. So it'd really be foolish to be giving too much thought to things that are outside of the realm of that.
Adam Jacoby, Go Iowa Awesome. Now that you can step back and look, is there anything that you sort of regret about the plan that Brian was put on, the 25 points per game and all of those goals?
I respect that, and I'm really not good at the looking back picture of that game because it really doesn't serve much purpose. I think when all that took place, Brian's the one who signed it, and I think he thought it was the best option available, and I would have co-signed that. Not that that was my business, but so it was. And as I said earlier, there's been a lot of really unusual things this year that I think have affected our play. If you want to look back at recent history, look at 2009. I think you could figure that one out. The course of our season changed very dramatically. I'll go back, I'll one-up you 1984. And just coincidentally, it was the first weekend of November. We had a couple bumps there. We were sitting direct path to the Rose Bowl, had a couple injuries, and things changed really fast. So that happens in football. You just got to deal with it, and you can't worry about the 8 million things that might happen here in the next 2 weeks. Now you talk about a waste of time. That's a waste of time too.
Scott Docterman, The Athletic. I wanted to ask you about this on a personal level. Mm-hmm. I mean, how does this affect you in that regard? Because obviously you and Brian have a different relationship.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, obviously we have a biological relationship, and I'm very fond of him, but I've had a lot of strong relationships with a lot of people that worked here, and that's one of the beauties of what we do. So if this were anybody on our staff that fell into this category, I'd feel bad about it, but I'm guessing they would encourage us to keep moving forward too, and that's it's just what you have to do.
Hi, Kirk. Shannon Earhart, KCCI. What were your emotions like when you found out?
Well, again, that really is not pertinent to the topic either. And it just kind of follow up what Scott just asked. We're all not best friends. It's like a team. You got 120 guys, not everybody's best friends, but we all have a lot of mutual respect for each other, all share common goals. That's one of the beauties of this sport. And one of the beauties of the sport are the far-reaching numbers. We have 120-plus guys on our football team. So, to get guys to become close, to develop a chemistry, all those things, That's the beauty of the game. And my 34 years here, we've had tremendous stability, unusual. I don't want to call it rare, but yeah, it probably is rare. It's probably a fair word. I haven't done a study on it, but we've had pretty good stability overall for my 34 years here. So that's one of the that's one of the real perks of it all. And anytime anybody goes through a setback, it's you always feel bad. It's just like losing a game. You feel bad about that too, but you move on. Yep. And then we'll shift gears here to the game here at some point. I'm a lot more focused on that. Yeah.
Kirk, John Sears, WHO TV. Looking back in this past year with you and your son, anything you would have done differently, maybe to change the way things have panned out?
Well, yeah, I mean, kept everybody healthy. But, again, you can't play that game. You just can't play that game. It is what it is. We're at where we're at, and we're moving forward. That's all you can do.